Hey, help support the show by becoming a member on Patreon or YouTube. This is the best way to help me as a creator, and so thank you and go Cavs.
Play a little game. Are you going to tell me yes or no this guy fits an optimal Mitchell Mobley roster? You ready?
Yeah.
It's the current Cavs roster. Max Strus.
Yes. I think so.
My hang up with Max Strus is he's 6'5". Like,
okay, but
that's so
okay,
like
does he have to be the
you already are overthinking this.
No. So when I think of a Mitchell roster, you have to have a point guard with a Mitchell roster. So if you're having a point guard, you're already you're like at a height deficit. So like I think that he has the skills of somebody who would fit, but that's where I kind of bump up against that, where like you're kind of already sacrificing something with a Mitchell team. And then when you add Max Strus, you're not helping that. So I would say
Max Strus isn't the only. Chris was going to name off other guys too.
I'm literally
listen. I know. I
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
That's why I'm bumping up.
He's just one member of the list.
I'm sorry for derailing your yeah. Go again, Chris. Sorry.
Ty Jerome.
That's the fit there is more questionable. I do think the Cavs should bring back Ty Jerome, but like it's not like Ty Jerome's not a point guard. Ty Jerome doesn't really get the bigs going. I mean, sometimes, but like he's not a distributor. Ty Jerome fit on this team, I think is fine. Does he necessarily make the Mitchell Mobley pairing any better? I don't think so, but he's a good depth piece overall, I think.
Yes.
It's a fun
not
he's a fun tool to have if the price is right. All right.
Yes.
Sam Merrill. I think the answer is yes.
He should be, yeah, and I think he has been.
Javonte Green is like that shouldn't go. Craig Porter Jr.
No.
People. Wait, I gotta say something about Craig Porter Jr. because I still get comments like he would have been better than Darius Garland if he was out there and said, guys, he was undrafted. He had a really good rookie season. For an undrafted prospect, he's had a good start to his NBA career, but like he's not ready to be playing heavy minutes right now. He's just not that level of player. He doesn't fit. He doesn't fit the Cavs lineups out there. He's not really helping them other than being a guy who can dribble the ball, which, okay, sure, maybe they could have used that against the full court press, but like Craig Porter's not ready for that yet. I think he's a fine player for for an undrafted guy. He's not ready he might never be ready to play heavy playoff minutes for a championship contending team. I just had to say my piece there because I've been a bit like, I love Craig Porter Jr. We got to be realistic with our guys.
I want to shake your hand right now. For finally coming up with, really admitting the
it's
truth.
Just being real. It's just being realistic. Like, yeah, he's a great undrafted player. Great's going far, but like for an undrafted guy, he's had a great story. He's not ready to play playoff minutes, guys. He's just not.
I do want to say, is a social experiment Chris still logged in? Because I think that Craig Jr., I think this is like the first impressions. I think that this is where like how first impressions actually mean everything. Like this could be it because he's had like 3 good games in a Cavs uniform, and they like 2 of them were like his first 2. So
more than that, but he's had like 3 good games the last like year.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
so, let me just ask it this way because I was trying to build this something and that's I should have.
We're getting
no. This is good. This is why this pod's the best because you guys are like I will have a 5-minute take debate on Craig Porter. That's why this rocks. Okay.
That's a nice way of saying it.
I love you both. Who is a better fit for this Mobley Mitchell team? Is it Allen or is it Darius Garland?
Darius Garland, in my opinion. I think that's easy to me. Just because you need a point guard. I think Mitchell needs a point guard more than Mobley needs a center next to him.
That's true. Is Darius Garland the right one, though, with his 6'1" size? Because that's what I was getting
to. The problem is, like, where do you get a bigger point guard?
This is the whole thing. I think you can always say, like, you could find something better than some of these guys, but I think oftentimes it is... I think this has frankly been Kobe Altman's, like, through line of how he's operated. It's like, I will just take opportunities to get talent and figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I think that's generally the right approach if you're a market like Cleveland.
Yeah, so I would say Darius Garland.
You run into issues because of it, but like I do think Kobe's done a great job of just being like, I'm gonna get talent, no matter what it is, no matter how it fits, we'll make it work. And I think, like, listen, people are gonna get mad at me. Whatever. They won 64 games in the regular season. It's hard to argue he didn't maximize whatever roster he had. Now they sucked in the playoffs. I'm not denying that, but clearly something you could talk about. The roster doesn't fit all this. Maybe it's limited in the playoffs, but they won 64 games. You literally can't get much better than that in the regular season. Again, it's a different debate if you want to say that they can't do it in the playoffs, but like Kobe Altman has done a really good job building this team. I still see people who are like, Kobe Altman should be fired. It's like, guys, come on. They 64
you found
wins.
My burners.
Well, it's like they weren't a 56 win team. Like the gap between being a good regular season team and being what they were in the regular season this year is meaningful in my opinion. I'm not saying he's perfect, but I think he's done a good job of just, I'm going to get talent and we'll try to make it work. And I think to hit really to the players' credit and the coaching. Again. Yeah, sorry. I got derailed again.
I think if I were going to say like what I think the next phase that is kind of what Indiana's done, which is like they found role guys. Yeah, and it's also they like found guys that like didn't like Nesmith has been awesome for them, and it's like they just got him like thrown in, and it's like Toppin was like a salary cut for the Knicks, and it's like he's not a great player, but like that's a serviceable guy for them. Like they have gone and found guys from that were weren't getting the opportunities or their scouting really liked, and have just gone and got guys on the cheap and like figured it out. And it's like, is there someone on like Utah or Washington, or is like there a Rockets guy that's gonna get
Sexton?
Bring him back. Like, but like,
the answer is no to both of those questions. For the does Colin Sexton make Evan Mobley better? No. Does Colin Sexton make Donovan Mitchell better? No. So just
but it's like, is there a guy on one of these teams that's going to be making moves that you can slip in and like grab someone out, right? Like, if the Bucks had like any good players, it'd be like, what Buck can you steal that would make your team better? They just don't have any good players, right? Like, I think that's probably part of this. It's like, is there someone you can like slightly upgrade with? To kind of retool this on the fly, and maybe that involves trading like Jarrett Allen, and you get a center back who costs a little bit less, but you get a wing who makes 7, and you fit them both in, or like it clears room because you believe in Sam Merrill so much, or you're able to use your picks to turn Okoro into a $10 million player you like more. Like there's something like that I think that's the phase or now. It's like it's tinkering, and the last big move is Allen or Garland, right? Mm-hmm. Like the big move is the one that we don't think will happen, which is you trade Mobley for Giannis. Yeah. Like that's like the move. If like that's like we put all the chips in on the table. But the other big moves are it's most likely Allen. You would think.
Chris, do you want to see my 5-team trade that I concocted to get Donovan Mitchell to the Houston Rockets and Evan and what's his name, Giannis to the Cavs?
Yeah, I've never wanted to see anything more.
It was great. It was great.
My head hurts.
Because it took a lot of time, but it works.
I'm confused.
And it got the Cavs under the second apron too, but that's why you had to get so many teams involved.
I hate the apron so much.
It's so dumb.
Like
I can't believe anyone agreed to this.
The poor owners love it.
Well, yeah. I can't understand why anybody else agrees to this.
I want unfettered NBA capitalism. Let Dan Gilbert cook, okay? He spent $500,000 on a damn fake swing machine he got to use one time. Let that man spend some money to make the Cavs better.
The only sport that it would actually help my team is the only sport that has the really strict salary.
Yeah, so when's Paul Skeens getting traded, dude? Like,
bro, listen, this is a whole. We'll have to talk about this some other time. Yeah, but
do you want to actually go to Mac Miller Bobblehead Day at PNC Park in July?
I'm not really a Mac Miller guy, but
but that's
a
Pirates game. Tony seems interested.
I literally was looking at that. I was like, I could use a Mac Miller bobblehead. That'd be sick.
I think
it's only the first 2,000 fans. I think
we
have to be there in the morning. 20,000.
20,000.
Oh yeah, 20,000. Okay. Yeah, we can get it.
You got to get there like 5:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like it's a 4-hour drive. Seems like a great.
Yeah, it's not far.
It's a 2-hour drive.
Okay.
Is it only 2 hours? Yeah, even closer.
I got Easy Pass on my car.
Yeah, we'll go. Anyways. Isaiah Okoro, he's getting traded. We got. This is the last thing we got to talk about.
I do think. Okay, well, to answer. Let me put it this way. I'll be very quick with this take. I completely agree. I think if you're making a big move, it's Allen or Garland. I think Allen's the most likely. I think he makes the most sense. I'm still leaning towards probably you just run it back, but I will listen to trade ideas throughout the summer, especially for Allen, not so much for Garland, probably not at all for Mobley Mitchell. When it comes to the supporting cast, I do think basically anyone that's not Max Strus or DeAndre Hunter, I think you can look into moving. Even Sam Merrill. You would move. I wouldn't move DeAndre Hunter, but it depends on what you could get. But I think he's like as reasonable of a wing as you can get, and the power of friendship with him and Ty Jerome, it's too strong to split. But anyways, my point is supporting cast, yeah, go ahead. Let's figure out if we can move any of these pieces. Dean Wade, love you, but if we can move for someone who actually does more than just running up and down the court, I'd have to take it at this point. Okoro, I'm with you to the end. If I'm going, I'll go down with you. But if we can find a way to move you for something that actually matters in a playoff setting, I would have to do that too. So that's my answer to that.
Mr. Okoro, defender, please. This is your last chance to say something nice about Isaac Okoro.
I'm really excited to watch him on the Washington Wizards next year.
It's gonna be nasty.
Will they let him cook?
Watch, he just like turns into Neesmith, and it's like, oh, the Cavs are actually bad the whole time. This is their fault. It's like, oh. Can I be honest? Can I be honest? I would call you immediately, like, Jackson, fire up the mics. I need an hour. Okay.
Listen,
if that happened, that's what I would do.
He's still only 24, guys. I'm just saying, it's you don't have to get all the way out. He could be something.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like. He would be a guy that if a bunch of other guys weren't going to cost, like, this is like really the challenge I think with NBA rosters now. It is probably fine in a vacuum, like if things were a little more normal with salary, I think for a guy like him to make like $10 million, like it's like it'd be reasonable. But in the world where like Evan Mobley's making as much as he's going to, especially because he won Defensive Player of the Year. And, like, Mitchell makes what he does, and Garland makes what he does, and, like, Hunter's do the extension, Hunter's clearly better, and, like, you have the aprons. It's just, like, you're basically getting to rosters where you're either gonna have, like, really expensive guys and, like, a bunch of, like, smaller stuff, or you can have, like, one really good guy and a bunch of stuff. You can't, like... So someone like Okoro is, like, seems, like, crazy to pay $10 million because you should, like, everyone thinks the money goes to, like, the top part of the thing, but, like, the lower-class guy, middle to lower-class guy is, like, squeezed out. So, like, I just think by nature of, like, you want to keep flexibility, he probably is traded and you're probably trying to dump him, but I don't know how you do that in this NBA.
Well, yeah, you have...
And it's like, and I don't think I really don't think it's, like, good use of assets to have to, like, use assets to dump a contract in them, like, for where they are. I think that's bad process. It might be where you end up, but I think it's bad process.
Well, that's get back to you shouldn't have signed him if you have to do that. Because what you need is you need Jalen Tyson to fill those minutes, and then after, like, if you're constantly in this position, you can't really give out second contracts. So you just constantly need to be filling it in with, like, rookies, and this is why the Thunder are never going to trade anybody, because they know that, like, hey, we know that we may not be able to keep, J-Dub long term, so we're going to have to flip that over and use that roster for somebody else. You know what? So, like, that's what the Cavs need to be doing. So that's where, like, I don't know if signing him for that number was good.
Well, there's a risk to that too, though, because I think like Denver probably had that same idea. Like, we're gonna let guys walk, and now you're like, oh shoot, we could have used a lot of those guys. Okoro obviously is not looking like we're gonna regret letting him if we would have let him walk, but that's the general.
And the Cavs are still out picks from the Mitchell trade, so it's not like you have like this like a bunch of firsts you're stacking on top of each other. Nor frankly, do they have like a great draft track record. Like, I know,
it's like Jalen Tyson isn't. If Jalen Tyson could have played some of the Okoro minutes, it would have been great. I don't think he could have.
And it's like that. That was already. He was a first round pick in what was considered a bad draft. And that's already like that's rolling the dice, to just throw him into that situation, even if you like him. Even like the Okoro thing was COVID, but it's like you missed that. Sexton was like fine, but you ended up just like he traded him. Like, you've missed on stuff. You got some of the obvious ones. Or Garland, I think, was like a good pick. It's like that ended up working really well. Good pick. Mobley was pretty obvious, I think, for where they were at, despite with like people arguing for Suggs. And like the later picks has been successful. I know it's really hard, but there are teams that do this well and develop well. The Cavs historically haven't quite cracked that code yet. Travers, Bates, and Tyson are like test cases of can they actually develop guys into being something. And Porter Jr. too, but I think of the wings more as the thing. It's like, can they coach him up is a test case. We're probably going to figure out if they're good at it in this current iteration in the next like 2 years.
Have I talked to you about our savior Naquan Tomlin yet, Chris?
Oh yeah, and Naquan Tomlin,
he could be helpful.
He's the guy. He
could be helpful.
Just letting you know that he's the new Sam Merrill. So just want you. Are
Sam Merrill coming back, Jackson?
I don't know if Sam Merrill
is Sam. Who's more likely to be an opening night roster, Isaac Okoro or Sam Merrill?
Sam. I don't think there's just no way you can.
But might be hard to move off of Okoro,
one is under contract and one is not.
Right,
it might be hard to get away from that.
Yeah, but to get one under contract, you probably have to trade away the other.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I don't think both are on the roster.
Right, so like if you trade away Okoro, you're probably trying to trade away Okoro just so you can get Sam and Ty back.
I still think Okoro, by the way, will go to like a bad team and like be one of the guys that is like
actually go to Detroit.
So
and do the same thing.
but he will end up somewhere where like it's like a bad team with a coach he vibes with. He can have like a fine career and still make good money. Like I still think that guy.
He's an NBA player. People still talk about him like he's a complete bust. Again, he's the bad pick at number 5 for sure. But
and like
it's not Killian Hayes, guys.
Shut up.
It was.
I just saw someone tweet that today. That's why.
Can I get this off my chest? I don't like when people bring up the 2020 draft as like, oh, look at all these teams that passed on Halliburton. It's like, that draft was so with COVID and everything. It wasn't.
The entire process of that draft, from like talking to people at the time, was effed.
Yeah. So
it was effed. It
was
whole
totally draft messed up.
Yeah, it's like
even Anthony Edwards at number 1. People weren't sure. They were like, it should be LaMelo, James Wiseman. Like now looking back,
I remember
it's so
like
obvious.
I don't remember. No one predicted any of this for Ant. It's like Wiseman went 2. Like Hayes went 7. Like Halliburton went 12.
Patrick Williams, that's not an NBA player.
Okay, at least if anyone out there is mad about if anyone is mad about the Okoro contract, just go look at Patrick Williams' contract and you feel better. Like Maxey went to 21. That's like a top 5 pick in that draft if you redo it today.
Yeah.
Like Pritchard went late, Quickly went late, Jade McDaniels went late, and Jade McDaniels is a key playoff guy for the Wolves now. Desmond Bane went like that's just like
Smith is the best player in the playoffs.
I mean,
also, the draft in general is such a crapshoot too. It's like, especially outside of the top 3, 5, honestly. So just in general.
What I will say to be positive at the end of this is I do think that you have a coach that I do think is good and comfortable, at least historically from the one time he's been head coach before this, good at trusting guys and getting the most out of them. Like I do think Atkinson is not a coach that's going to be like, I just want to play my vets until the wheels fall off. And if he has to like a guy, but he has had good success about getting career best stuff out of guys that maybe he wouldn't have otherwise, at least in the regular season. I mean that's a big chunk of the year. There's something to like he is a guy that I think could shepherd that kind of system if you want it more than like I think Mike Malone. And Jackson, you would be the person to say this, but I would guess him and Kobe are more aligned organizationally than JB and Kobe were.
I think so,
at least for now.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair because they're definitely aligned in what they want. I think their vision is aligned and kind of how they envision this whole thing going. You hear really, I thought it was, we know how Kobe is, specifically how Kobe is with some of his press conference answers. He doesn't want to put blame on anybody. And Kenny's very open, and him coming out and kind of repeating all the stuff that Kenny was saying was wrong with the team, I think just kind of shows how in line they are in a way that like you didn't necessarily get that before.
Yeah. Maybe this is the place. Let me ask you guys this. Are you guys optimistic now for next year? Are you like,
absolutely not.
Are you like this team is still going to win like 58 to 64 games and be like a team that has a high seed in the play? Do you think can they improve on that?
Yeah. It's a bad time to be answering this question because there's no real reason people should be feeling too good right now. But I think I tweeted after the season ended, basically just saying like, the Cavs still, assuming they don't completely mess things up, should probably have like another a decent. I won't put a year to it, but like a decent window where they're winning 50 to 60 games a year. Could reasonably feel like if things break their way, they could make a run at the championship. Now, do they win it? That there's a million factors, but I do think as they currently are, there is reason to feel optimistic. But I also get right now, they've already shown us that even when everything goes right in the regular season to a degree, which by the way, they're be stunned if they win 64 games again. And this was the dream season. And the stars completely aligned. Everything that you wanted to go right went right in the regular season. Don't expect that to happen again. With that said, though, I still think I still feel optimistic. Like there's worse situations to be in, to put it that way. And that might sound like a loser mentality, but like there's still, I truly do believe this. They're still a lot closer than what that Indiana Pacers series felt like. I think a lot of things went wrong, and I think they're closer to making a run at the finals than what it would seem like if you just looked at their 5-game departure.
Yeah, and I think with the East opening up, you have to feel good about the Cavs again. However, you're never going to trust them in the playoffs until you kind of see it. They've gotten to the point where you can't like say, oh, this thing that we saw in the regular season, it's for sure going to carry over. Because even in 23, there was a lot of like warning signs there. Where like, well, this could get a little dicey if X, Y, and Z happen. And in this regular season, there was none of those warning signs. Like this wasn't a foreseeable outcome. Like. And that's where I think that you're never going to get the benefit of the doubt the same way. But this team is a really good team, so I do want to emphasize that. But
yeah, I agree with that. Like, yeah, they're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. They don't deserve it. At the end of the day, they're the ones who have to change that narrative. I still feel optimistic, but like I agree with Jackson. Like, yeah, man, it's not going to be fun when no matter what they do. The Cavs were on like a 15-game winning streak this year, and everyone was like, man, they suck. They suck. And that was before they blew it in the playoffs. So there's going to be no enjoying the regular season next year for like 90% of the fan base. I was going to say, we'll find a way to have fun.
I think that's, I'll just be honest, I think that's a mistake. I think as much as like you want the playoff success and you should be worried about that, I think if you don't have fun with a team winning a lot of basketball games while you have in front of you, that's a mistake. That is just a mistake. You need to just have
gotten carried away.
Yeah. Go and have a great time at games next year, cheer and like enjoy it, because like at some point like they'll be really crappy again. Like that is how this works. And in like 7 years, you're gonna be like, hey, remember when like that team won a bunch of games? Like you're not gonna be as annoyed as time goes on by the feelings now. And yes, it's annoying now, but you're still gonna like have a real love for this era when it's gone. So just take it for what it is, and then next year just hop on a Reddit board and be like, they actually need to fire Kenny Atkinson and bring back JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. I think
I don't agree with that.
Not with that last part. But
I don't either. I'm just rage baiting. Yeah.
The general life advice, the philosophy there, I agree with. Right, like people. I don't want to get too deep into this. We're already an hour and a half in.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
No, you're good. We were ready to go the marathon here, and I think it's been a great discussion. But I have been really fascinated by the way that, like, I get why fans are throwing the regular season out the window. But I do think, like, listen, if the Cavs, let's say they win 60 games next year, you have no reason not to enjoy it. We've gotten to the point where people think like regular season success is like a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like a disqualifier. Like, no, it's still awesome if your team wins 60 games. If they blow in the playoffs, you can feel upset about that, but you should still enjoy the regular season success, even if you understand, all right, you still have to play the games in the playoffs. But if they win 60 games, they're the number 1 seed next year. I'm still going to be like, hey, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And look, and then if you do want to say like they need to actually do something to like really prove that this was all worth it, I think that's totally fair. Like you can have both thoughts in your head. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And I think we're also all warped by like the only time this team has mattered in the last 20 years before like the last couple years was they had the greatest player of all time. And it's like that's just always going to warp anything. Nothing else is going to look or feel like that in terms of how you win.
Unless they get said greatest player of all time again.
Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade dumped to the Brooklyn Nets so LeBron can come back.
Yeah, you got to get under the first. So basically,
got to get Merrill back to play with LeBron though.
That's what I'm saying.
Can I be honest? Like Sam Merrill running off a screen for LeBron is just like
a match made in heaven.
My God, I don't need Ty Jerome at that point, but I need Sam.
I think I wrote about that in my takeaways for the one game that LeBron was sitting courtside for with his wine.
It's crazy.
Because Sam went nuts that game.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's the obvious fit. Like LeBron is always dominated with a white guy who's an elite motion shooter. He would be Kyle Korver 2.0.
Except Kyle Korver.
Well, no, I mean, they were pretty awesome.
I mean, he missed the one shot.
It didn't. Until it didn't go right.
Korver had quotes at that point where he's talking about how it was so weird for him just to stand there and get the ball. So he was like, it was like there's an adjustment period where Sam, I think, is already kind of used to just standing there and letting it fly. It's like a ready-made.
There you go.
Fit, you know. And LeBron can LeBron Swenson's is here.
Bronny loves Swenson's too.
Bronny loves Swenson's.
It's not happening.
Everyone loves Swenson's.
There's no way we end up with LeBron back. I've seen a lot of people question that too.
He's not coming back.
It would be sweet.
Giannis is more likely LeBron coming back.
Yeah. Giannis is not.
I don't think.
I don't think either. I didn't say likely. I said more likely.
No, LeBron's way more likely than that. Like it may not be like. I think there's like a 30% chance LeBron comes back.
30?
That's high.
I think
That's
so.
really high.
At some point.
I mean, listen, I have no idea. Oh, at some point, maybe.
Yeah, not
in
like
the next
Cavs
year
being
or
good
two.
kind of
Yeah,
ruins
like 30%.
that. If the Cavs sucked, I would say, yeah,
We'll
he'll come
30%.
back, retire here.
That's
But if
the
there's still
NBA
championship window still open, it's hard for him to do that.
NBA script writers going crazy if LeBron, like, after this year comes back and then he retires by winning a title in the last season after, like, with Donovan Mitchell and Darius and Mobley.
That's what we need. We need to manifest
Evan Mobley lifts him up on his shoulders, carries him off the court.
Jeez, Mobley got a lot stronger than over the next 2 years.
Kevin Love comes back.
Kevin Love, JR, Channing Frye courtside.
Yeah, they pull the sword out together.
Ty Lue actually tells him where he put the money.
I thought they got the money. They didn't get the money?
So I think Ty said he took the money.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which, good job, Ty. They don't need it, you know?
Yeah,
Well, probably like
he was an interim coach at that point.
I know, baller stuff from Ty Lue, a real one.
Really hasn't won as not an interim.
And yet,
coach.
I would still take him over like any coach in the league. I would still you told me I could hire any coach. I'm taking Ty. Him or Spo.
It's so sad that he got stuck with those losers and with the Clippers.
Paychecks are huge, though. You know.
Yeah, but he's stuck with such losers. Anyways,
we
got to wrap this up.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
All right. No, hey man, I might end up putting this into multiple episodes, just then we get because it ends up being long, so it's more content for us.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, and I was late, so I do appreciate you guys having me on. This was a lot of fun. I hope I see you both soon. Yeah.
Mac Miller bobblehead night.
Mac Miller bobblehead night. At the very least, a Rubber Ducks game.
When is that actually?
Sometime in July. We'll talk about it. But
okay.
Rubber Ducks game. We do Il Rion.
Finals game.
Yeah, finals game.
Oh yeah.
Pizza and watch a finals game somewhere. It sounds like a move.
Let's make it happen.
We can do a playback stream in one room.
At a bar.
Yeah,
at a bar.
We'll do it in real life. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris, thanks for coming on, man. Like I said at the start, long overdue. I'm very happy that we were able to hook this up. Blame Jackson for it not happening earlier, as we said at the start.
He hates me. It's okay. I understand.
But no response.
I'm just trying to make this rap.
Okay, yeah. That's gonna do it for the Junkyard Pod. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks, Chris, for joining. This was a lot of fun. We'll definitely have more stuff planned soon. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We'll see you next time. Go Cavs.
I agree. Go Cavs.